All right, let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Feather Schwartz.
My name is Feather Schwartz.
My name is Feather Schwartz.
Now, will you follow along and listen while I read from my copy of this story? I, Feather Schwartz, am National Director of Beatles USA Limited, the official Beatles Fan Club in this country. My responsibilities include authorizing the charters of local fan clubs, editing a Beatles newsletter, and conducting telephone interviews with disc jockeys across the country. Our office supervises the answering of fan mail, but to avoid being completely swamped, we keep our address a secret. Signed, Feather Schwartz. So, panel, these three young ladies all claim to be Feather Schwartz, National Director of the Beatles Fan Club USA. Let's start this cross-examination with our own ardent Beatle fan, Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Oh, I'm the right one to start with. Yay, yay, yay.
Yes,
well, number two, how many fan clubs do you have?
We have 150 clubs at the moment.
Number three, where did the Beatles get their greatest ovation in terms of numbers of people who turned out to see them?
In which country are you talking about?
In any country. I'm asking for the country, perhaps.
Well, in the United States, they've gotten more people simply because our population is larger.
Ah. Wasn't there another place, number one, where they had an extraordinary turnout for them?
Yes, they had a very large turnout for them in Australia.
Ah. Number two, do you know them personally?
I've met them, yes.
Are they nice?
Very nice.
Ah.
Tom Poston.
Thank you, Bud. Number one, just to follow that up, how many people turned out roughly at that airport to meet the Beatles in Australia?
In Australia, I think it was about 250,000.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Number two, how many rings does Ringo wear?
4, 5, 6 at a time.
4, 5, 6 at a time. And on his fingers?
All on
No,
his
on his Number three, what kind of office is this that you maintain? Is it in your home? Is it a formal office?
Oh, no, it's a formal office.
How many people work in the office?
I have an assistant and 7 people working for me.
And 7 people?
That's right.
Number two, thank you. Number one. Number two, why do you keep it a secret, the address? What do you care?
Because the kids would swamp us if we didn't. We have a post office box that they can write to.
That address you don't keep a secret?
No.
Why would they swamp your office, number two?
Well, they probably think the Beatles are coming or expect to see them there.
Sally Ann Howes.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. I come all the way over here, and I'm still followed by the Beatles. What do you know? Number one, could you tell me where did they get their name from?
I think Beatles is a derivation of the word beat.
Thank you. Number three, could you tell me who's just been sick? I mean, really sick. I mean, not just sick.
Well, a lot of people, but if you're talking about the Beatles, Ringo has.
Ringo, oh, yes, thank you.
Orson Bean.
Yes, Feather Schwartz. Feather Schwartz, number one, as opposed to Feather Schwartz numbers 2 and 3. Was your mother an Indian, or how did you happen to come across that wonderful name?
She's a little bit of a bird, I guess, but Feather just happened.
Oh, it's a marvelous name. It's lovely and lyrical.
Glad you like it.
Feather Schwartz, number 3. Who was the author of a book called In His Own Right?
John Lennon.
Feather Schwartz, number 2. In Liverpool, conjured up in your own mind, a dank basement where the Beatles began. What was the name of this place?
The Cavern.
The Cavern. Feather Schwartz.
Wait a minute, stop there. I want to get out of the cavern for a minute while you mark your ballots, if you will, please. There's no further time for questions. Just use what information you have to mark up now and pick the right one, of course, if you can. No consultation, just vote now for number 1, number 2, or number 3. All ballots marked? 2 are, 2 are not.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, there they are. All right, Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
I can't tell. I voted for Feather Schwartz #1 because she seemed sort of cute and able to smile at herself in this position, and I think it's kind of amusing to have all this fuss over 4 musicians.
Sally Ann Howes.
I voted for #1 because I like her name. You know, the Beatles affect you, at any age.
Yeah. All right, Orson, what is your choice?
In His Own Right is a charming book, incidentally, that one of the Beatles wrote. It was a crazy, nutty, funny little book. I voted for #2 because she knew the name of the cavern, but probably it wasn't even that. I just remember that they started someplace, and I was torn between 1 and 2.
Kitty.
Well, I voted for #2 because I think there was a certain tone of levity in our questioning, which I hope didn't hurt your feelings. But she was a little bit defensive about it and rather proud of her job, and so I voted for #2.
Very well, let's evenly split then. Long time since we've done that. 2 for #1, 2 for #2. Let's find out now, immediately, which one of these young ladies is the national director of the Beatles American Fan Club. Will the real Feather Schwartz please stand up? What first gave you this idea to start this fan club?
I didn't start it.
Oh.
It was sort of organized by the attorney for the Beatles. It was under his supervision. It still is. And
But
we
you
do
are
have.
the director.
That's right.
Oh, bless your heart. Good for you. #2, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Joan Authors, and I own and operate a boutique shop called The Second Look.
And #3, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Sonia Gluckman, and I'm a licensed high school teacher.
Well, ladies, you did all right. There were 2 incorrect votes, and that's the important thing to you because each one is worth $250, and that's a total of $500 from Winston's, as well as a carton of Winston's on your way out. Thank you for the fun you brought to us, and I only hope you had a pleasant visit, too, that you'll look back upon with great joy. Goodbye, and God bless you. We'll put the panel back to work in just a minute. Meantime, here's something you'll enjoy.